Can you take me seriously with my dog doing this in the background? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Drew and this is my channel where I make videos about improving my mental health. It hopes that it inspires you guys to improve your mental health as well. So this week I wanted to talk about my experience with living with anxiety. I do just want to quickly mention that there will be a trigger warning for suicidal ideation. I do briefly mention it. I don't go into any detail or anything like that, but I just wanted to let you know if that is triggering for you. I would suggest either clicking off if you're not, able to watch an entire video about anxiety and such. Otherwise, I will have the timestamps where you want to avoid right up here. And also just as a reminder, right before I do talk about it, I will put something up in the screen just so that you guys are able to pause the video, skip past, and then go from there. I did make a video touching on how I cope with my anxiety and how it shows itself up in my everyday life back in August of last year. But unfortunately lately that anxiety has gotten even worse than it was. Which is why recently I was prescribed sertraline, I believe it's called, also known as Zoloft. With the intense social anxiety I experienced, pandemic anxiety, and then as well as just general everyday anxiety, it definitely started to feel really overwhelming for me. I am very, very grateful that I do have access to medication as well as therapy, since my doctor and my therapist both told me that research shows that a combination of medication and therapy is the most effective for treating anxiety. So as some of you guys may know, I started therapy at the beginning of June in 2020. And as much as I was hoping that therapy would cure me of my anxiety, it's actually helped me to navigate it, feel more comfortable experiencing it, and helped me to feel more kindness towards myself when I go through something that may be triggering for me. Therapy has also been extremely validating for me, which I don't think I realized how life-changing that was. I think over the last several months, I've learned more and more about my anxiety and taking the steps towards getting the help that I deserve that I never normally would have taken. So like I mentioned earlier, I've been dealing with some very intense social anxiety as well as pandemic anxiety. It's actually been very debilitating to the point where I end up experiencing suicidal ideation, which absolutely terrifies me. And I don't want to go into too much detail about that just because it's very hard for me to talk about. But I do just want to say that if you guys are struggling, I just want you to know how important and needed you are and loved you are. And in case you need them, I will be putting some resources in the description box for you to reach out to if you do need that kind of support. So while I was doing a little bit of research for this video, I was actually looking at a list of social anxiety symptoms on Mayo Clinic that I'd surprisingly never looked up before. And oddly enough, I was shocked by the fact that I experience every single symptom listed. With my social anxiety, I am often able to force myself or reach out to someone else who will be able to encourage me to get out of my comfort zone, and for that I am so, so grateful. But that definitely doesn't mean all of my social anxiety symptoms just disappear. Out of all of the symptoms that I do experience, the ones that are the most detrimental for me would be the sweating I often deal with, the analyzing and identifying of flaws in the interaction after the social situation, the upset stomach and nausea, and the muscle tension that often leads to me having a migraine immediately after or the following day. Before the pandemic, I probably would have said that my social anxiety was the worst anxiety that I was dealing with. It really affected my ability to form healthy relationships and draw important boundaries. I convinced myself that I'd probably never be in a healthy relationship or a relationship at all, especially with a cis man, due to my past traumas. And as much as I know that anxiety is there to protect you, or trying to protect you, I've always been so scared that it would get in the way of an opportunity to meet someone or a group of really great people, which is why I'm always so, so proud of myself when I put myself out there and get out of my comfort zone. Once the pandemic started, my social anxiety was replaced by pandemic anxiety, since I wasn't really going out in public places or interacting with new people. My social anxiety was something that I wasn't thinking about anymore or as much. Now, over the last year of barely leaving my house, I have developed really intense anxiety about being in public spaces closely surrounded by other people, and constantly worrying about bringing the virus home to my grandma and my aunt, who are both immunocompromised. This anxiety has prevented me from being able to work without having panic attacks, or really just being able to do anything outside of the house. And a big part of my anxiety has been about the effects that this pandemic has had on my mental health. So then once it came time to start socializing with new people on Discord, I started dealing with both anxieties at the same time. This became so intense for me to deal with, and that was when I finally reached out to my doctor to get more help. And as nerve-wracking as it was so nice to receive that validation from my doctor and given the option to start on medication. So with taking these meds and also being in therapy, I'm really hopeful that I'll be able to start navigating my anxiety better, and hopefully it'll start to improve. I'm just really hoping that these meds work for me. So the last thing that I want to say before ending this video is that if you are in therapy and you're getting support through friends and family and you're still struggling, it's more than okay to reach out for additional professional help. Sometimes we need it, and that is totally valid. Just remember to be kind to yourself and be patient. Your mental health is so important. I hope that this video resonated with you in some kind of way and also maybe validated you. But I am so sorry if you do deal with similar anxiety or even worse anxiety. But I'm so proud of you for how strong you've been and continue to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you got something out of it and that it wasn't too negative of a video. I'm really hopeful for what's to come with being on this new medication and being in therapy. Maybe it gave you some hope or inspired you to maybe seek more help, because it's always good to seek more help, especially if you need it, even if you don't think you need it. If you guys did get anything from this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, because it really does support my channel, as well as hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified about future videos that I will be making. And be sure to follow me on all of my social media. They're always the pinned comment in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. I think my neighbors are coming out right as soon as I'm about to start filming. I'm gonna close my window. That's better. Before the panoramic, I can't say that without feeling like I'm not gonna be taken seriously. I love when I finish filming. Woohoo!